are they gonna do? Mass report me? Nice try. Look, I'm gonna be fully honest, and this is gonna be mean. They're not big enough to put a dent in me, to be honest, okay?
And then she says that the Lollipop girls are doing age play and DDLG. So the message they deserve to be harassed is because she made each of these statements individually, which leads her audience to the conclusion that they deserve to be harassed. It's not because she said it outright, but it's definitely implied after all the things she said. So Catliente is a YouTuber that's been getting a lot of heat from the VTuber community. And just a few days ago, I think it was on Thursday, I actually debated somebody on the topic of gatekeeping. And I know my chat is very pro gatekeeping. I'm more on the inclusionary side. I believe that people should be included in the community. And I believe that the community will kind of regulate itself. It will self-regulate. Some people will adapt. Some people will learn and they'll change their ways. And the community will evolve that way. But then there are cases, and it's always a case-by-case scenario, that really makes me a bit disappointed that I am fighting for everybody to be included, because there are some things that kind of disappoint me in their coverage of the VTubing community. So Catliente was a YouTuber that did, you know, help videos, how to grow your channel, how to be a content creator. She gives a lot of advice on TikTok, etc. And she first hopped into the VTuber like drama bandwagon during the Small Lola thing. So you can see here her first few videos, you know, they break like 1K views, maybe a little less. And then she gets onto her first VTuber drama. This VTuber was scam. And then she gets onto the Small Lola thing and it blows up. So suddenly she sees a huge input in views. She goes back to her old content and it kind of flops. So she just been pumping out, you know, drama VTube video since then, and her videos come out almost daily. Now the problem with news channels, and that's something that's mostly done across the board, except I think for False ID, he's pretty well researched. The thing when you're putting out daily videos, your research is not going to be as deep as somebody like ContraPoint, who's researching videos for 3 months and then putting out 1 video a month, okay? But that's part of the game, and that's okay. As long as you somewhat have a good grasp on the topic, I'll accept it. Sometimes I'm nitpicky about some things, but I'm fine with it. And my bar with research when it comes to other people is pretty low. I very rarely criticize other content creators because I know how hard it is to run a channel. I know how hard it is to get an editor to, you know, edit your videos pretty fast. It's hard. It costs a lot of money. It doesn't always pay off. You know, you don't get that much money off of a 30K view video, 60K view video. And I know the struggle. So I'm very lenient about this. My bar is very low for other people. For my own videos, my bar is very high. And I spend a lot of time researching. But I don't expect other people to do this. I do it because it makes me more comfortable. Because if I learned that mistakes slipped in my video, I literally start crying. Like I get so upset. And also it gives me the confidence to talk about these topics when I feel like I know them in and out and I know them like the back of my hand. It reassures me. So that's my own experience. I've seen her informative, but why? The lollies, I don't give a fuck, don't care for wording about it. It's content. Yeah, it is content. And to not take away from anything she does, you know, she's incredibly well spoken. She's charismatic. She's a pretty girl. So her videos do well, not just because she's covering VTuber news, but they've definitely seen an uptick. My issue is that looking through the videos, looking through the comments, she kind of has been covering everything at face value. I'm not sure where she gets this information, if she has somebody sending her this sources, but it's a very surface level coverage, and the comments are always just shitting on the VTubers. It's never positive. We'll look at some examples later. She's did a coverage of this. She does almost the same content that I do on my second channel, on my Rima highlights video, which is basically the breakdown of my VTuber news segments. So basically there's a lack of nuance in her videos, which, yeah, there's a lack of nuance, you know, and you can be biased if you call yourself a commentary YouTuber, I suppose. I mean, after all, you're entitled to your opinion. But let me tell you guys how it first started. First of all, it started with a call out post where people were calling her out for, they thought she was reporting these lolly group to the FBI. Now, let's make one thing clear. She was not the one doing the reporting. This is just her share screening a photo in the document she's going over. So she is not the one reporting the lolly group to the FBI. She's just reporting on it. So they levied that claim at her, this criticism, among others. She's only responding to this claim saying, false information spread very quickly, so always check your sources. I said in the video the author of the Google Doc reported them to the FBI. It wasn't me. And Rev responds, so just to clarify, do you condemn people wasting federal resources for fictional content? And she hasn't replied. What's the FBI going to do about it? They already told people not to report lolly content to them anymore because it's wasting a lot of resources. So I don't know what this person is. And then because of that post, it started getting traction and people started to look more into her content. This Twitter reply, you also said some harassment is deserved. Then somebody says she also spreads misinformation and calls lolicons PDF files. She knows what she's doing is harassment, but is playing dumb to avoid getting any backlash. I blocked her for a month ago, not to mention she supported harassment towards lolly shows in the past as well. This is the tweet.
There has been discourse on the internet about this because a fair amount of people who are saying that this is lolly bait, and there's a fair amount of people who are defending this. But I'm gonna tell you both sides, and I'm curious as to what you guys think. One side is just like what the original tweeter stated, referring to this model as lolly bait. And if you don't know what lolly is, I'm really happy for you. And if you do know what it is, I'm sorry for you. That essentially is referring to a category of age content in which it's literally children. Point blank simple. I don't care if you use the term, oh my god, yeah, she's like, in lore, she's like 1,000 years old, but she just happens to be built like a 5-year-old. Not okay. Not okay. So when people say lolly bait, that's what it's referring to. Literal child lovers. There has been
Hello, Ilara. So she basically equates lollies to child lovers, which is immediately wrong because lollies is just a depiction of a certain type of character. And lolicon is the sexualization of these characters. So there's already a difference there. And then secondly, she she's obviously anti-lolly, okay? And you can be anti-lolly. You're allowed to have these criticism. You're allowed to be disgusted by it. It's totally your prerogative. You're even allowed to tweet about it and say, well, I think this is gross. And for a lot of people, what this lolly group is doing kind of crosses the line because they're doing toddler play. But honestly, just block and move on. They have to go out of their way to harass people, and this is where it crosses the line for me. When you go out of the way to do witch hunts, to do call-out posts, and to start harassing people for it. And the title of her video was that this lolly VTuber group started a hate campaign against another VTuber, but she doesn't have the full story. The full story is that there is this VTuber, or should I say this VTweeter, called Noyumi, and she started calling them out. Now a burner account with like 7 followers came out, and they did a deep dive into Lollipuff and their individual members in a large Google Drive, mainly leveraging a few accusations towards them, most of all that they're being lollies, being into, you know, toddler play, doing not safe for work stuff. But the people behind the lollies are all adults. And they also did a response Google Doc. But Catliente only covered the Google Drive, which is the attack. They haven't covered the response. And faced with that harassment, one of the girls in the Lollipuff group also went full Menhera, and she called out in her Discord server to block them. Okay, she says harass them, report them, force them to graduate. I don't fucking care. I want them gone. So it was in response to the harassment. She messed up. She totally messed up there. She shouldn't have done that. I absolutely condone this. I think if I see this on your timeline, even if we're mutual, you're way too emotional about things, and I don't want to associate with you. I'm sorry. Even if it's justified, because you got harassment. I don't want to. I think this is never okay, by the way. I don't think you should ever do that. And so TLDR, both sides are stupid, okay? Both sides are stupid in this story. That's the TLDR. That's all you need to know, really. That's all you need to know. And again, like, I don't know why people get so upset when they get called out when you're already doing stuff that's pretty much on the verge. This is gonna be my criticism of the Lollipop group, okay? I'm gonna make a metaphor with Asmongold. When Asmongold made a video of himself that made him famous, it was the video where he said that he hadn't showered, I think, in several weeks or months. And people were, of course, blaming him. They made a Reddit thread about him. And his response was, well, of course people are gonna flame me because I made a video about not showering. It's like, what do you expect, you know? It's kind of like if I'm proudly proclaiming to be a furry, of course I'm gonna receive criticism about it, so don't be surprised when you do. Just block and move on. That's it. You don't have to go full unhinged on the timeline. Just block and move on. You know, if you have to spread awareness, do it. Be like, hey, this account spreading information, misinformation about me. This is not true. I'm a consenting adult. This is, you know, age play, and that's it. Yeah, so the toddler play for a lot of people is kind of crossing the line. Even for people that are pro-lolly content, they're kind of uncomfortable with it. But to go as far and to start like a harassment campaign against them is going too far. And not only that, but there was also, you know, threats levied at them over here in a Twitter space that I can drop the link here if you guys want to go listen to it. It's pretty long, but it's all there. It's all there. In this Twitter space, these people harassing the lolly group, they got together to discuss things under the guise of raising awareness. About 80 minutes into the space, some of them start talking about wanting to punch and beat these girls up if they met them IRL. By the way, sorry, there's some very sensitive topics today. If you're not comfortable with that, just tune back in like, I don't know, an hour. And one of the lolly girls, same one that got suspended recently, made a tweet about wanting to end it all. And then that's where they all started to freak out. And they were worried that this could possibly go back to them and be tied back to them. And they started saying things like, oh, you know, I'm just saying that in general. And that the beating people up comment was not directed at any of the girls. So Azehara is right here. Like, these girls are not breaking the law. You might think it's creepy, you might think it's weird, but you might think the people that follow or play along are also creepy and weird, but don't get involved and don't constantly send harassment in the guise of trying to raise awareness. No, he can't keep the site up. And the thing is, it's like, I mean, they kind of look like Shibi's. I mean, they kind of look like Shibidoki. They're just a little smaller than her. I guess their body is a little smaller. Like the head to body ratio is a little bigger, but I really feel like sometimes people pick and choose who they want to target, unless of being very I mean, I just prefer being open-minded about everything. I think that avoids that problem, but yeah, they're all like Shibi Lollies hybrid. Still makes you uncomfy? Yeah, well, that's not really the topic. It can make you uncomfy, I've already said that. That's totally fine. That's within your right.
Not a lot. The amount of gaslighting. Why are there 16 people liking this? How are there so many lolly enjoyers? I'm so confused. Another screenshot. End of school day. Had so much fun today. Trying to roleplay like they're in school. What type of school? Preschool? Kindergarten? Petite refers to somebody that is small. So typically that would be about 5'3" or below if you're 5'3", or about like 160 cm or lower if you're not from the US. And here are photos of their model being suggestive. Let me remind you again, their model looks like it's 5, with big boobas with the tiny strap across the chest with the words baby pointing up at them. Ew! Their actual age is 20. And look at this pinned tweet. Emoto Skedi, like trying to type as if they're freaking 4. Let's see what we have this week, with like a really childlike drawing with crayons. I want to throw up. This is so—
The thing is, Brittany Venti did a very similar stream on Gargura when Gargura just started. It was exactly the same accusations that I see echo here. And granted, these girls are like, it's way more fair to criticize these girls than Gargura, but it's the exact same arguments. Venti also said that she was typing like she was a toddler, that she was acting like she was a toddler.
disgusting. The next person is Lullaby Lita. Yeah, why can't you act your age? Here's the thing. If you want other people to act their age, allegedly, and just like not harass, some harassment is deserved. If you are into children, you deserve harassment. The Lullaby tweeted, "It's okay though, now I get to be your baby sister forever, right?" With a screenshot of a meme stating the abuse she suffered makes her a forever puppy. Are you trying to make abuse cute? Are you trying to normalize it? They're playing it to incest too.
So some people were saying that she basically...
Hey, can I own you in a toxic way where you still control
Okay, we don't need to watch the whole thing. So in wake of her video that she made, this Riri got suspended on Twitter, and some of her comment section were saying that they reported the group, and they were proudly saying that. And I feel bad for the girl because she is actually in a pretty bad mental space. This is goodbye, everyone. I've had enough. You are all going to get what is coming for you, but I have been through enough BS. Quiet or not enough is enough, and it's not worth living for anymore. And this person replies, maybe you should start thinking about the child in your belly and stop sexualizing children. You are literally perpetuating the situation that happened to you, stroking the fires of men and women who want to sexually harm children. So my main issue with her portrayal of the event is, once again, the one-sided coverage, and then secondly, that she's perpetuating the fact, or she's speaking as fact. Well, first of all, she doesn't really know what she's talking about. Like, she says that she barely understands the definition of lolly. She mentions in her video that she's only ever heard it said in a negative way, which is, it's not always a negative thing to be a lolly. And third of all, she doesn't exactly say that they deserve to be harassed, but her line of thoughts does lead to that. She says that if you're a child lover, you deserve to be harassed. And then she says that if you're into H-play or DDLG kink, you're a child lover. And then she says that the Lollipop girls are doing H-play and DDLG. So the message they deserve to be harassed is because she made each of these statements individually, which leads her audience to the conclusion that they deserve to be harassed. It's not because she said it outright, but it's definitely implied after all the things she said. And then the VTuber community got upset with that in the same fashion that people got upset with Shizzy when he just barged in and started criticizing everybody. You know, if you look at the comment section of these videos, it's all people saying that it's disgusting, that they're PDF files, etc. And then what does she reply? That they're not big enough to put a dent in me.
Gio, I've been lurking for a while, and I don't know if you mentioned this yet. I haven't talked about the Lollipop stuff. I will not talk about it on stream because I'm probably going to make a second video about it. But my Twitch will get banned if I talk about it on stream due to how sensitive the topics are. So I'm going to record it off stream. Didn't know if you mentioned...
I don't get this excuse because I talk about these things on stream all the time.
A bit worried with all the people that are with the Lollipop group organizing a mass report raid. Yeah, what are they going to do? Mass report me? Nice try. I've already... Look, I'm going to be fully honest, and this is going to be mean. They're not big enough to put a dent in me, to be honest, okay? I've already called out Gideon, and I had the entirety of Gideon's Stan fan base mass report me. So that their little lolly accounts is not gonna put a dent into me, okay?
Okay, and she was streaming when she made that video, so I don't know why she's making that excuse. Yeah, she just doesn't want to talk about it. She didn't have the arguments ready. She wanted more time to prepare. She's buying time because there's a difference, okay, when you're getting live feedback and when you do a video, people are less likely to question you. They kind of just, you know, whatever you say, I don't know why, but the people almost more unanimously agree with you in the comment section for some reason. So, okay, I want to talk about the bigger aspect of this, and it's, you know, the whole tourist argument, the whole gatekeep argument, which is a main reason why I'm doing this. So again, like I said earlier, I'm not against new people trying to come into the community. I'm not against Vtubers making videos on Vtubers. There's some incredible Vtuber videos that have been made by Vtubers. Turkey Tom is an example. His research has always been on point, and I know this because I've covered the exact same topics he did, and I can tell you that his information was good, because I found all the exact same sources that he found. I have no criticism of Turkey Tom. It's pretty good, and even when he was going through some very biased thread, he added some nuance to it that he thought about himself that was also pretty good. And then there's also, you know, there's Coefficient, there's Nas, there's Ivanito. These are all people that are also flesh tubers that are trying to, you know, that are involved into the VTubing community. Yeah, Kanchan too. And you can tell that they're passionate about what they're talking about. You can tell that they love VTubers. And not just because they're doing uplifting content about VTubers, but because they make a real effort to interact with the community. Ivanito tried to gas Shizzy up only before he knew how awful that guy is. And then there's Legal Mindset, which, you know, Legal Mindset, a lot of people could have also criticized him because he was an outsider, and, you know, obviously he made profit of covering things of the VTuber community while it was very hyped. During the Niji Sanji crux, there was a lot of outsiders that started covering the topics. But from the very start, like, he could have easily been brushed off as a tourist or a grifter or whatever, but from the very start, he showed a great interest into the videos. His viewers sent him memes. He was excited about it. He made it funny. He made them an integral part of his stream. You know, he invited other experts from the community, other VTubers, because he knew that from his coverage alone, he would never be able to get the full picture. I think that's a good way to integrate a community, right? It's like respectful. And yeah, of course, you might not get everything right from the start. Like, it's a learning curve. Catliente could still, you know, surprise us. She could still, after receiving the criticism, she could be, okay, I've made some mistake and I'm gonna try to research more from the future. I'm gonna try to, I don't want to say this word because it's so cringe, but I'm going to educate myself on the community, what they want, what they don't want. When I first started covering VTuber stuff, I was fucking terrified of making a wrong move. And the thing is, you barge in, you make all these strong opinions, but I built myself up to being able to make these strong opinions. I built myself up until I had the reputation of being an expert in what I'm talking about. You gotta prove yourself first. You can't just barge in, have all of these strong opinions, have all of this criticism on the community, and think that people are gonna be okay with it. You have to prove yourself first. You know, you gotta make your mark. But then with this answer, I feel like that wasn't very humble. I highly doubt it. She just uploaded today and streamed yesterday when the Rev video dropped. Interesting. So need to watch 1000 anime to enter? No, I don't think so. I don't think you need to watch 1000 anime to enter, but you need to like anime. You need to like, okay, you can only maybe watch or read like 2 or 3 animes, but if like you draw anime all the time, then you're also an anime fan. If everything you collect is anime shit, if the aesthetic you like is anime, is every time you see an anime poster, even if you don't know the name of the anime, you want to buy it because you believe it's beautiful, then you're probably an anime fan too. All you need is a little bit of passion. And it really shows when people make videos that are soulless, where they're not passionate about the topics that they talk about. The difference between a tourist and a fan is respect. Exactly. Like, they can be newcomers that are a little bit ignorant, they don't really know what to do, but they can make a good faith effort to fit in. Huge double standard true for defending that Shota VTuber, Taiga. Yes, so I mean, she just doesn't know probably what a lolly is because she's made several videos on, where's the channel? She's made others, okay, I don't have it here, but she's made several videos defending other lollies, but then she's clearly a lolicon. And she's also made a video on Parrot losing his Honkai Star Rail sponsor, which is so weird because I made that video because Parrot is my friend. Legal Mindset made put it as part of his stream because he knows Parrot too. That was like a personal thing. So it's really weird seeing sort of an outsider also cover it, and also cover it in a way where everybody in the comment section is just saying that Parrot is racist. everybody in the comment section says that Parrot is racist, that it's his fault for losing the sponsor. And the comment section is kind of like that in every video I've checked. Yeah, look, this is videos.
I don't know whether they...
Wait, I have them in my slides. Dank memes, just racist caricature against Chinese. And this is like, there's a bunch of them, hundreds of them. Racism towards Asian has been so normalized that when someone making racist Asian joke, they claim it as dank memes. He's not the one making these jokes. These are jokes sourced out from 4chan. And the joke is that he's pandering to the that Vox is pandering to the Chinese audience. It's not the other way around. And she replies to that, yeah, ... See this person? Oh, it's Hyatt. Wait, isn't Hyatt in our chat? Well, while he does choose what to put in his own video, he wasn't the one making the joke. He just read it off 4chan. Which, let's face it, isn't exactly a good measurement of what's normalized or not. True. There you go. Another person that's pointing it out. It's worth pointing out that context matters here. The punchline isn't haha funny Chinese men. The punchline is Vox looking ridiculous trying to pander to Chinese culture and audiences. I personally think it's an important distinction, and this is coming from someone who is half Asian and who has had to put up with occasional racism. Bang! This person is right on. And she would know that if she was just a little bit more involved into the community, and she would know this background. And the other thing that I found so odd is while all of this was going down, that she tweeted this. As a creator, your own imposter syndrome can hold you back. Live life with the audacity of a mediocre corporate white man who never hesitates to pass off his work to others. Is this your mantra? Maybe you're getting imposter syndrome because you didn't really research your videos. And then she justifies it saying, live life with the audacity of a mediocre corporate white man. Yeah, I mean, I could justify every single one of my mistakes like that too. I could. A bunch of people are unhinged to me. A bunch of people spread misinformation about me. That doesn't mean I'm just, you know, other videos that are way more sensationalized than mine get way more views. I could do, you know, 20 videos shitting on Niji Sanji and I would get 200k views on each of them. But I don't, because the truth matters to me. So this is actually triggering. You being a horse is not a misinformation. For now. And on top of that, I just came across this before starting the stream. So somebody in her Discord is warning her about the Refsei Desu video that he did. It's a very good video, go watch it. It's very well explained if you want just a good TLDR. He also goes into the lollipop thing a little deeper than I did. They're saying this is really bad, cat. If you're reading this, please take care of yourself. They're adding the mods, they're not adding cat. She says, I don't want anything to happen to her. Okay, they're saying, am I allowed to tag cat? It's really important. I don't want anything to happen to her, and her DMs are closed. This person is notorious for harassment campaigns. But your video also caused other people to get harassed, so this is pretty ironic. Yeah, it's only harassment if it isn't you. Yeah, he's notorious for harassment campaigns. What are you talking about? Yeah, he made a video just like she did. Something about staying out of the kitchen if you can't take the heat. Yeah, it's harassment to them if you say they have a bad take. Yeah. Rules for D, but not for me, exactly. Also, Rev hasn't said she is disgusting and deserves harassment unlike what she did. Yeah, he doesn't tell people to go harass. He just criticizes them on his videos. So right now, I don't know if she's gonna respond to this. In her clip, she said she's gonna answer it in her video. But on her last broadcast that was yesterday, I believe, she also says that she's going on a trip. So we'll wait and see if she decides to release the video and then go on her trip, release the video and make a statement. Maybe she'll use her trip as an excuse to go radio silent. I don't know.